What is going on, everyone? My name's Alpha, and today we'll be playing one of my favorite games of all times, one of the most nostalgic games of all time to me, New Super Mario Bros. DS. It's basically remastered Super Mario Bros. For the DS, and it's pretty good. I love it. Anyways, today the challenge will be, can we beat New Super Mario Bros. For the DS only with a mini mushroom? Yeah, we are mini mushrooms for the entire time. I've tried to use an action replay code to put in me as a mini mushroom, but it just didn't work out. I don't know, the emulator I was using was horrible. I guess it just didn't want to use the code. I used multiple emulators and they still wouldn't use it. We jump into 1-1, which is obviously the first level of the game. It's very generic, you know, all the block placements are the exact same, all the pipes are the exact same from like normal Mario Bros. There's nothing very special, you know. You have the 3 classic blocks where you click the middle and you get a power up or whatever. Nothing too special. I'm still working on my movement as we play this first level. It's very jaggy right now because I can't really move around because I'm using a controller, and you're not supposed to have a controller. You're supposed to use a D-pad. I'm using the joystick on it. Very odd. So my movement's very loose right now. I get my first death on 1-3, but we clear it. It's all good. So we jump into the first castle, and I still die, horrifically. I just can't have the movement down yet. I don't know. I guess it's too anti-gravity for me. You know, I get better at it because there's some nuts things I could do with this. But we faced against Bowser Jr. First Bowser Jr. fight. At least annoying one because he doesn't throw shells at you. You just hit him anytime you want. So it's pretty simple. Bowser Jr. down. It looks pretty pixelated. This game looks pretty pixelated. I understand it's like a 2007 game. It's not supposed to look the best. And you could kind of make out what it is. What is that Goomba doing there anyways? But it's kind of pixelated because, you know, I have to up the res. So, you know, it doesn't look like a 240p game. But if you, like, hit up the resolution, it's going to look really bad like this. So, you know, you got to deal with it. You got to do what you got to do. Now, your first castle boss fight is actually Bowser. It's pretty simple, too. It's the assisted Bowser fight where there's a lift for you to jump over him. I know you could beat him with the fireball. Can you beat him with a shell? Anyways, get into World 2-2, and this is really annoying. He just drops airstrikes on me constantly. Anyways, we find ourselves into 2-4 where we get a shortcut. There are secret exits in these games where give you like alternate pathways to levels, and you can skip a lot of the levels like these. So I skipped 2 levels like that, and I'm pretty close to the boss fight. Now, another interesting thing they added to this game is that if you beat certain bosses 2 and 5 with a mini mushroom, you will actually unlock an alternate world. So you beat 2, you won't go to 3, you go to 4, and if you beat 5 with 1, you won't go to 6, you'll go to 7. So a very strange pathway because you skip a whole world. You kind of miss out in part of the game by doing it, because if you beat it normally, you have to play World 3, but you can't play World 4. So you kind of have to, if you want to experience the entire game, you have to play like that. So it's just a bit strange. I don't really like it, but I think it's an interesting concept. Here, Bowser Jr. fight in World 4 Castle or World 4 Tower, and you know, I just set it up because he throws shells now. I have to set it up with 3 shells on the floor so I can just hit him back to back so he doesn't get annoying. This is the most bullshit death in all of Mario. Here I'm exploring the game, right? Number 1, this is a really stupid thing I did. Wall jump for no reason. But you see this door, right? I go through this door, and then I popped out, I spawn onto a Boo. It kills me instantly. Anyways, this is where I get ballsy with my movement with the mini mushroom. I guess I'm the best at this. Look at this, just long jumps across the world. Yeah, screw the level, right? Who needs the level when you could just long jump across? I get too, you know, into it and then just fall into the water. But as much as I want to praise my movement, it's really ass too. As you can see from right here, I don't know what I'm doing. I just die. Anyways, the World 4's castle is a Goomba, which I wish it was more like a Wiggler or something that spits like the purple goo. I wish it was something more inspiring than a Goomba. But apparently you could actually beat this pretty easily. You just have to bounce on his head like 6 times. You could combo, probably beat him in 1 cycle. I'm not good enough to do that, but a Goomba is pretty simple. You just have to hit his head. That's about it. Anyways, I want to get this secret exit for 5-2 because it skips the tower, and I don't want to do the tower fight. So the yellow pipe is where I want to be, but I can't get there unless I get the spring. So I have to do some sick movement trying to get it up there. Kill the spiny first because it was scaring me, but just some good angling. Boom, we're in there. We're in the secret exit, right? Some weird coin thing, but it turns out this quote-unquote exit is just a location for a star coin, and the real exit is in this random pipe here. So that's pretty annoying how I just kind of spent my time finding that nice jump without the spring to get into a star coin that I didn't even get. Anyways, this is a pretty straightforward haunted house. I kind of skipped the elevator ride because it was slow, so I just wall jump with my mini mushroom. You know, movement. I'm the greatest at movement. World 5's castle, it's pretty simple. I mean, we're fighting Petey Piranha, I guess. Petey Piranha in every single Mario game is annoying because even in Sunshine, I know Sunshine he's supposed to be a really easy boss. Yeah, I still die to him like constantly. Maybe because I'm not good with a GameCube controller, but I'm still awful at playing against Petey Piranha. I die a few times, but as I said, once you beat World 5 with a mini mushroom, you actually get World 7 instead of World 6. World 6 and 7 are kind of bad. I think 6 is a bit worse than 7, so we kind of dodged a bullet there by going to World 7. World 7 is pretty simple. It's just a cloud theme, so it's not the worst thing in the world. A lot of auto-scrolling, so it's kind of boring. So we're just gonna skip to the tower fight, where this is probably the hardest one because the platform moves as well, and then it's hard to adjust and hit the shell at the right time. We get into this little maze. We get into these like 5 levels of doom where you have to go through the levels pathway and find the exit, but luckily we have a mini mushroom, so we could skip that entirely with the first level. We get a free jump into the castle. So going to the castle, it's not the toughest thing in the world. I was only really nervous about the boss fight because the boss fight is a giant Lakitu, and as you saw from the World 2-2, Lakitudes are not really my friend, so I'm kind of nervous about this fight. It turns out he's actually a pushover. He's easier to time than, oh, here's an airstrike, and then he's easier to time than like most boss fights because, you know, he moves pretty slow at you and he lets you jump on you. The lightning is pretty scary, I guess, because it shakes my screen, but he just slowly dives into your jumps and then he dies. Pretty simple. We're into World 8 now. World 8 is kind of uninspiring as well. It's pretty simple, especially with the mini mushrooms. You could skip a bunch of stuff. Here I actually learned something new. I wall climbed with the mini mushroom. I guess there's some textural stuff that happens with the game with the mini mushrooms, because in certain places you could clip onto, and you'll see that later in the video as well. But some of the mini mushroom things are kind of broken. This turns out to be a pretty alright run because, you know, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it's also kind of fun to like experiment with like movement on this game, because I never really liked the mini mushroom, but having it as a challenge is pretty nice. Anyways, this is Bone Bowser. He's pretty simple. He's dead. As you can see, the climbing, I climbed for a few extra seconds while doing it, and it looked pretty weird. Anyways, this is the worst level in the game. Really annoying, especially as a mini mushroom. Just straight up annoying. Anyways, this is our final Bowser Jr. fight, and we do die a few times, but we get him in the end, and that's the last time we'll fight Bowser Jr. Well, one-on-one. So we're into the final castle, the final level of the game, World 8, final boss fight. Movement is still garbage, dies to the first fireball. Anyways, this is a sick room. If you know the room, this is probably the dankest jump in the world. Look at this. Wall jumps, clips into the floor, and then gets into the pathway. It doesn't really do anything because it gives me a star coin that I won't ever use. Anyways, I lure Bowser Jr. into the corners. I could jump over Bowser himself. And then, for some reason, the game just grows me. Why does the game grow me? I've played this entire game as Mini Mushroom. Now I'm Mini Mario. But that's it. That's the run. That's the entire run of New Super Mario Bros. DS. Honestly, one of my favorite games, and what a treat to play this. Anyways, I would like to thank you for watching all the way to the end. I hope you guys all had a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. My name's been Alpha. Please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you haven't already. And I'm out. Peace. Peace.